Hey guys, Mustache here, this time with an episode discussion for Arrow, the show on the CW. If you have not seen Arrow Season 1 or up until this episode of Season 2, I would suggest not watching it, just because you will get spoilers. So, let's get into it. So, Episode 8, Season 2, The Scientist. We have gotten a lot of teases about this through either Stephen Amell's Facebook as well as from the CW about the reveal of Barry Allen, who's also known as The Flash. So this is going to be a really kind of episode that we've been wanting to see right off the bat. So we'll go ahead and get into it. In the beginning, you have this kind of warehouse with these guards kind of guarding Queen Consolidate warehouse. So that's kind of what they're guarding. They're guarding everything there, especially with the things that are happening in the season with Moira. So we have that, and we get this kind of banging on a door, and somebody breaks in. Then after this whole break-in scene, we get a kind of a flash forward to Queen's Consolidate. And you have Oliver Queen coming with Moira to kind of be part of the board again. And you have I always forget her name, the girl from Sarah Connor Chronicles. I'll pop up a picture so you can see what she looks like. And she's kind of, you can tell she's pissed at Oliver. So then we jump again to, or it's in the same meeting. Felicity comes over, tells him, hey, you know, we got a problem in the warehouse. Goes over there, police are there. Mr. Lance is there with the police, and he's there kind of saying what happened, like kind of giving him the rundown on what's happening. And then as this is happening, we're getting these flashes of somebody getting off the train. Then we get the final glimpse of Barry Allen. And then as it's coming along, you see this kind of reoccurrence of him being late. So I think that's kind of cool, as well as we do see a couple sneak peeks in the episode. We get little glimpses from one of the other cities having this particle accelerator, which of course, you know, particle accelerator, you're going to think the Flash. So I think that's very cool that we're getting these flashes kind of saying, oh, you know, how are you liking these little hints? Because this is kind of where we want to go. And I really hope people take well to Barry Allen. I like him as a character in the episode. I think it's very cool. And he has that boyish charm to where I think he's going to play around a lot. He really reminds me of, not Impulse, but Kid Flash. He reminds me of Kid Flash from Young Justice and from kind of things that we've seen in like Justice League Unlimited and things like that. So I think it's going to be very cool because he's going to be able to kind of bring that Flash/Kid Flash deal into it. And you kind of learn his backstory about like why he's there in Starling City. And the reason he's there is he says he's a CSI detective, but he's actually just an apprentice. And so you kind of get, oh, hey, you know, well, what's this guy's real story? And you find out that his dad was framed for murder, and all he saw was a blur. And when he tried to fight against this so-called blur, which he says he sees a person in, he ends up 20 blocks away, and they frame it on his dad. And it's kind of cool because that gives kind of little snippets, because what are you thinking when you see a blur, a human blur essentially? You either think the Flash, or in Barry Allen's case, if it's somebody against him, you think of Reverse Flash. So I think that could be a really cool villain for the Flash. And we haven't seen Reverse Flash in like I don't think we've seen him in a real life situation with the Flash. So when that happens, I think it'll be really cool. And especially with the episode, he kind of, for all the people who've been wanting Oliver Queen and Felicity to get together, Felicity's getting really close to Barry Allen. And I think that's actually stepping on Oliver's toes, and he is like, oh, you know, I want to find out who this Barry Allen guy is. He knows more than he really should. And so you come to find out that's his backstory with the whole murder, and he's actually just kind of a apprentice of the forensic science guys over in the other city, which I think is very cool too, because at the end of the episode, Oliver gets into the situation with a superhuman serum that is kind of going around, as we've seen before with Brother Blood, kind of testing it out. And we're really starting to see more of Brother Blood's input into the city. And so with this coming along, and Arrow being, or Oliver Queen / Arrow getting kind of hit with this, they're like, oh, well, who's going to know how to deal with something like this? And the only person would be Barry Allen, because he is the kind of scientist, and you see his skills throughout the episode. So, going back into this ending, Oliver gets hit with the serum, I think 2 or 3 times. And then they drug Alan while he's still at the train station, and he shows up in Arrow's secret lair with Felicity saying, help us. And you see Diggle there as well, and he's like, oh. So, honestly, the episode is great. The things that we get from, the Flash aspects. Don't even get me started on the flashbacks, because the flashbacks are great too. We're still seeing Slade kind of in his half-burned face, as well as we're getting hints from Oliver when he's talking about the soldier serum, or the superhuman serum, or human weapon serum, about him killing somebody and having to burn them just to kill them. And in the flashbacks, you see him give the serum to Slade. So it's only a matter of time before we see Slade in his full, Deathstroke type form. And I think it's going to be really cool when we do. So that is the episode for The Scientist, Season 2, Episode 8 for Arrow. Mustache, peace.